All right, ladies and gentlemen, our last game of the day in the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Welcome back to BC Sports TV. It's Canada versus Mexico, and right into the mix go the Canadians, and first save of the game for starting netminder for Team Mexico, Matthew Murakami. It's a battle of the two number 54s, Murakami and Ashton Clark, the goaltender at the other end for Team Canada. So he looks for his first save. Pass goes across. Still watching on. Fake pass. Shot scores. One shot, one goal for Team Mexico. Josh Sanchez stings the top corner. And the Canadians now trail for the first time after they took down Team Indigenous a couple of hours ago. Twister shot goes wide. And Murakami will sprint out of his cage to quickly send it up. Canada will close the gap defensively, though, and cause a turnover. Oscar Lucas gets underneath. He'll send it back to the perimeter. It's Ty Fisher. Passes through. Noakes keeping after it. Works his way over to the far side. Now behind the net. Gets back to his strong side. Pass was off the mark. And the Canadians will continue to hunt for their first goal of the game as that errant pass goes out of play. Possession Mexico. Here is the goal scorer, Sanchez, from his own side of center. Switches hands. Can't get a shot off. Now he'll circle back. Blind shot scores. Top corner around a defender. What a start here for Mexico. And now Robbie Turpin dancing his way over top, gets his hands free and sends it over to the far side. Winter, fake pass, sells a defender and drives low. Shot, scores. Winter gets Canada onto the board. And goes back for a defensive shift himself. Now Christian Martinez. He'll dish. Backpedal his way to the perimeter. Stick check knocks the ball loose. Frattini keeps after it. Sends it over to the far side. Pass off the mark, out of play, and Canada will take possession on their own side. Turpin looks up. Looks for a target as well. And finds one over on the far side, then drives through to the middle. Brendan Murray. Shot and another save. Murakami. Strong start to this game. In between the pipes for Team Mexico. He'll dish. And watch on from his defensive zone as Mexico looks for that 2-goal advantage once again. And they find it now, up 3-1 on Canada. Murray. There's some Adnac flavor on this team. Brandon Murray, one of those Adnacs. Robbie Turpin, David Charney on this team as well. And that pass goes out of play, giving possession right back to Team Mexico. Sanchez. Watched by Fisher. Score, no, off the side of the net, excuse me. Sanchez opened the scoring earlier in this quarter. Now Oscar Lucas. Driving, shooting, and another save. Backhand shot and another one. Murakami. That last one hit him up high, but as long as it stays on the right side of the goal line, that's all that he cares about. And he may need to make another save here as Canada keeps possession. Oscar Lucas gets over top, hands free, far side feed, shot, and make it another save, Murakami, and another loose ball collected by Canada. Turpin, pass down low, Lucas scores. Finally, they beat the goaltender after about 4 saves in a row. And the pick and roll between Lucas and Turpin worked to perfection. Now down just by 1. 3-2, Mexico leads. Drive underneath, shot, stopped by Clark, and that'll go out of play. No, they'll say cleanly out, so it will be possession Canada. As Blake Young will dish and head off. Fitzgerald gets the feed from Winter. Hitting the trailer, and the pass goes to the near side now. Turpin. Quick feet, back to Fitzgerald. Shot, low save. Murakami finds Sanchez. One defender to beat. Spins over top, and the rest of the defenders now get back to close the gap. Fertini lost his stick and the ball. Turpin takes it away. 4-on-4 drive here. As the pass goes down low, scores, tie game. Brendan Murray gets his first. A one-timer just inside the post. And we are back even. Switching hands, shooting and scoring for Team Mexico. Canada again trailing by 1. Lucas. Pass deflected. Young couldn't take it cleanly as that one went high off his stick. Murakami will collect. Mexico gets over center just in time. Asensio. Fake pass, now lobs one. Fertini puts it into the stick of Ashton Clark. Lets the rebound drop to his feet. Quick pass up, a breakaway right into the stick of the goaltender. Murakami continues his strong start. Here's Sanchez. Forced low. Lucas runs into a screen. Fitzgerald gets the switch as Sanchez shows off his footwork. Trying to create some space, under 10 to shoot. Pass off the mark, and they're able to keep it in play, but under 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Chance for a fast break as Canada has another breakaway in all alone. No, scores! 3 fakes before he finally fired it. That's what it's going to take, it looks like, to beat Matthew Murakami. But we are back at even 4-4 in the late stages of the opening quarter. Sanchez gets the feed from Charlie Fertini. Rising shot. Rose a little too high. That one goes over the fence, and Canada will take possession back. Turpin. Over the center line with plenty of time remaining. Gets the feed from Charney. Back to Turpin, over top. Looking for Murray, couldn't handle it. Murakami's got to be careful as that one rolled towards the goal line, but swept away from danger. Christian Martinez just before the whistle goes, and that will bring us to the conclusion of the opening quarter. Back and forth action, and Canada came back, now tied at 4. And when we come back, it'll be second quarter action live from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Back inside the Percy Perry Stadium live, the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. It's the final game of the day here on day number 1. Canada looking for the lead, and shot denied early here in the second quarter. Matthew Murakami continues his strong start, and his team sends it out of play. David Charney will collect, and Canada will get a reset on the shot clock. Looking for their first lead. Charney swims, passes to the near side, and that goes wide, cleanly out of play. Mexico will look to escape their defensive zone this time around. A little bit of pressure starting to come in from the Canadians on the forecheck as they get to their full press. Creating problems here is Turpin's going to take an interference call, and Mexico will get a do-over. This time they do successfully get into the offensive zone. Fitzgerald backpedaling, and a save by Clark. Now Winter got Canada on the board back in the first quarter and does more of the same here to start off the second quarter. Puts Canada in front for the first time in this game. Pass picked off, reaching and taking it away is Young. Now on a breakaway, scores top corner. Just like that, Canada in front by 2. Blake Young. Great defensive effort to pick off the pass and was off to the races from his own side of center. Now Mexico looking for an answer in their own right, and Clark makes the save, hugging the post and keeping his stick down low to the turf. Quick pass finds the latest goal scorer in Blake Young. Skip feed over top, shot. And that one goes off the post, off a defender and towards the goal line, but a penalty on the play, and Canada will go to the power play. I believe it'll be a holding call. So here comes the Canadian power play. So go over to the far side first, back to the point, and Lady winds, fires, and scores. Sidearm bouncer between the wickets of Matthew Murakami, and now 3 straight for the Canadians to start off the second quarter. Long pass goes up, on the run. Sanchez on a breakaway, bounces one home. Lead is cut down to 2. Here come the Canadians once again. Lady, fresh off that last goal a moment ago. Charney sends it over to the far side as Brendan Murray at the point. Lady spins back. Defender stumbles, shot. That goes wide, and Mexico will take possession back from their own side of center. It'll start with the goaltender, Matthew Murakami. Not a lot of options available here as Canada continues the full press. Pass goes over center just in time. Deflected loose. Charney will collect. And a penalty here will go against the Canadians. So it'll be a power play for Mexico, and possession will start with Charlie Frattini from distance. He's got Sanchez to his left as those two connect often on many of these offensive sets for Mexico. As they do that time, but the shot came from the near side, and that last touched a Canadian stick, so Mexico will keep possession. And they shouldn't have got a reset, I don't believe. So the clock should go back down to about 16 seconds, if I saw correctly. I'm learning the rules here, Kevin. Figuring it out. Once you see, well, now 5.5 games in a day, you start to learn the rules. Frattini can't get his hands free. Loose ball kicked forward. Canada's got a man out of the box, and Charney, that's Young, Now Lucas fires one home, and Canada goes back up by 3. Long stretch feed. Canada playing with a little extra pace compared to how they look to start off the game. And Mexico continues to look for an answer. Sanchez has had that answer plenty of times throughout the opening day of these World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Mexico won their first game of the day, taking down Team Indigenous. And now try to take down the powerhouse Canadians as Sanchez looks for another. Dancing around his defender, skip pass goes through, backhanded shot goes into the midsection of Clark. And he'll hang on, send it up in transition. Here's Alan Gain. Shaken up in game number 1, looks like he's all right though. Shot goes off the post. Rising subber from in tight goes all the way back over center. Canada will keep possession after it goes out of play. Now Young looking for another one. He'll skip over to the far side instead. Shot and another save by Murakami. He's been one of the more impressive pieces for Team Mexico. Again, having some troubles crossing center. The pressure of the Canadians proving to be rather difficult to break free of, and another situation where they do just get over center in time but give up possession. It's Brandon Kirby gets into the offensive zone, finding Murray. Pass over to the far side, and he'll park himself through to the middle. Murray gets the feed, scores a pick and roll to perfection. Murray cashes in, finding the top corner. This time Mexico gets over center cleanly. Fake shot. Asensio dishes and heads off. Sanchez, 13 seconds on the shot clock, wants the wraparound, finds it, and Clark finds the save instead. Now Garrett Winter. Wants to head off. He'll do so now. Lady fakes the pass, back to the outside now. Fisher over to the righties. Back to Young, loaded up, and that one goes into the goal, but the wrong goal. Soccer net behind the fence. It's going to be registered with a save that time, and Mexico is going to take possession. Lighter pressure here from the Canadians. Frattini scores. Now just a 3-goal deficit. Mexico continuing to try to climb their way out of. Blake Young played a part in this lead that Canada finds themselves with now, and he sends the ball over to the far side. Shot off the mark. Mexico is going to take possession again from behind their own net. It'll be Matthew Murakami starting things off, and there's that full press again from the Canadians. Mexico breaks free. Sanchez scores. Back to back for Mexico, and the lead down to 2. Here's Gain. Down to his left, Charney. Fake pass, gets through, and can't get that one on target. Another one sent wide by Canada. Murakami will collect. Charney with the pressure. Mexico breaks free. Shot stopped by Clark. A bouncer goes into his midsection. And Canada is going to call a timeout here with about 14 seconds remaining until the halftime break. So we will step aside for a moment, and when we come back, the conclusion of quarter number 2. You're watching the World Lacrosse Super Sixes on BC Sports TV. We are back in the final 14 seconds, I'm going to say definitively, until the conclusion of the half here. It will be Canada possession, looking to restore the 3-goal advantage. Garrett Winter at the point. Pressure comes in quickly. Takes a jab step, sends it over to his right. Final few seconds here. Again, our clock may be a little bit off of what the scorekeepers have. Now the final 10-second count is Winter falling forward, finds the back of the net. Last second shot towards the goal from the netminder in Murakami, and that one will go wide, and we will head towards second half action after a bit of a breather. Thanks for joining us here on BC Sports TV. Tino Farah, your voice for this final game of the day between Canada and Mexico. And when we return, it'll be the third quarter in this matchup, and we'll be back after this. Back underway we are from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes event here at Percy Perry Stadium, and Canada rings iron right away. Garrett Winter had that buzzer beater at the end of the half and almost found another one to begin the second half, but makes a good defensive play. And that'll send Robbie Turpin showing off his wheels, tucks underneath and spins back as a man open on the far side. Shot, scores. Keegan Lady off the feed from Turpin puts Canada back in front by 4. If you missed any of the first half action, Mexico stormed out to an early lead. Canada took a little while to find their footing, but grabbed the lead in the second quarter and have not looked back since. And just an incredible goaltending performance thus far in between the pipes for Team Mexico, as Matthew Murakami has been stealing the show. And may need to make another save as Noakes finds Lucas. Skip feed to the far side, out of the reach of a leaping Blake Young. Couldn't make contact, and that'll go out of play. Possession Mexico from their own side. No press this time from Canada. Gives Mexico a relatively easy clear in comparison to some of their opportunities back in the first half. And certainly have to take advantage of those opportunities just like that. Top corner rip past Ashton Clark, and that'll cut the lead back down to 3. Noakes, fake pass and gets over top of the defender. Driving over top and outreaching Murakami. Now Mexico with another quick shot, and that goes into the helmet of Ashton Clark. He shakes that one off, sending his team back over center. Murray. The feed goes over through. Fisher. Low corner, far side. A couple of quick ones here for the Canadians to start things off. Now Sanchez spins back, dives across, scores. That's going to count. Clear for takeoff. Josh Sanchez. And now the goaltender and Murakami, the last line of defense, sprints out towards the center line to take away what would have been a breakaway for Brandon Kirby. Another great play, this time of the defensive variety for Matthew Murakami. Saves himself from having to make a save and sends his team into the offensive zone. Penalty coming up against Charney, and Mexico scores regardless. Now Fitzgerald over the center line. He and Noakes switch places. Winter denied by the goaltender again. But he'll draw a penalty for his efforts. It'll be a cross-checking call. And it'll go to Angel Asensio. Power play work for Team Canada. Charney from the corner. Now Winter at the point. Noakes skips back to Charney. A bouncer scores. Oh, excuse me, that's Blake Young. Gets another one. On the run, a perfect pass, but left behind. As Young follows up that latest goal with a swim move to elude the pressure. Gets back to his strong hand and lobs it over to Brendan Murray. Now Lucas shoots, and a stick save again. Murakami. Now Lucas with a little bit of pressure. Murakami gets away from that. And a yard sale on a wrap check. Noakes Dislodges the stick. That'll send Turpin in alone, and he'll get another on a breakaway. Turpin showing off his speed. Now back for a defensive shift. Drive shot, scores. Bouncer for Team Mexico. 15-11, Canada leads. Looking to extend that, denied. Courtesy of a shot sent wide. No save necessary for Murakami. He will collect from behind his net. And Sanchez, head up, will clear the zone. Plenty of time to work with still. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Asensio tucks through to the middle. Can't get a shot off. So it's blocked by a defender. Kirby over in transition, a 2-on-1, ends up in the back of the net. Alan Gain credited with the goal.
Is that really engagement if she doesn't?
Now Mexico continues to look for some form of an answer. Sanchez. Can't get his hands free, runs into a double team and sends it to the far side. Shot clock violation on a good defensive shift by Canada. Now Noakes in all alone, scores. Goaltender falls backwards. Noakes finds the back of the net again, lead up to 6. Now Gerardo Vasquez-Leon on a drop feed. He'll head off for a change. Sanchez swims. Parked in the corner, takes a shot, almost finding top right. Instead found out of bounds. Fisher to Murray. Lady tucks away, finds Charney on a feed, back to Fisher. Shot and stopped by Murakami. Tough angle for Fisher, but goaltender makes a save nonetheless. Sanchez back out for a defensive shift as he sends it down to the corner, creates space, and a jump shot stopped by Clark. Stretch feed, no looker, finds Winter, tucks through, shoots, scores. Winter gets another, I believe that's his 4th of the game. Back over call goes against Team Mexico. Oscar Lucas spins through the middle, gets away from another defender and sends it wide. Glorious opportunity for Oscar Lucas, but can't get it on target. And now Sanchez, the pass too low, deflects off his stick and out of play. Possession Canada. Last second shot and another buzzer beater. Brendan Murray into a wide open net, and that'll bring us to the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. And when we return, it'll be the 4th and final frame in our final game of the day. We'll be back after this. 1 quarter remaining now in the final game of the day between Mexico and Canada, and it is Canada with a 8-goal lead, 19-11. They lead through 3 quarters of action. And quick shot, but a quick save by Murakami, who continues his strong play. Tino Ferrer, the voice. A twister shot by Winter. Wow, made that look easy. Playing his summer ball for the Maple Ridge Berards in the WLA. For Garrett Winter, there's another goal by Sanchez as he rips one top right. And Lady denied by the goaltender. Murakami again dropping down to a knee. And thank you to everybody for joining us here for any or all of the games that you may have watched for. Quick stretch pass again as Sanchez ripped it home, but a legal substitution will go against Team Mexico, denying another quick strike, and Canada goes back the other way, looking for another. Can't beat the crossbar. Rebound goes high into the air. Track meet starting to open up here in the final frame. Delayed call coming up against Canada. And Noakes on the push will end that possession, but Mexico going to go to work on the power play. And a reminder, we are going to be here all day tomorrow as well, and then again on Sunday for the medal games. So we'll get underway bright and early. Can I say bright and early if the first game is at noon? No, probably not. First game of the day will be Canada versus Great Britain. The women will kick things off at noon, followed by Canada versus Mexico, a rematch of this one at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The second game of the day, there's a shot sent just wide. And if you've joined us for any of these games today, tomorrow, or on Sunday, make sure to give us a follow on BC Sports TV, Twitter, Instagram, of course, on YouTube as well. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, or the bell icon, if you want a notification every time we go live throughout this weekend for these World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Another goal for Canada on the run, short-handed to boot, and another one for Winter. This looks so dynamic in Canada's 2 games thus far. Now 21-12. As it will be possession Canada, starting off from behind the net. Fisher first to touch and pass on the run. Finds Blake Young. He'll dish and drive. Lady sends to Fitzgerald. Far side feed. Lady gets it again. Fake shot on his wrong side. Steps into one anyways, and that just misses. Goes wide, and goaltender for Team Mexico, Murakami, will step out to collect. Fitzgerald applying a little bit of pressure. Mexico breaks free of that. Pass was knocked and taken back by Canada. Pass break opportunity as Noakes swims through, gets the shot off and scores. Give him another one. Started off on his wrong side, swam back through to the middle. Goes one-on-one with the goaltender. Now Asensio gets away from a trail check. Dishes over to Sanchez. Josh Sanchez from behind the net. Switches hands and dishes to the perimeter. Shot stopped and just over the goal line. Clark had it. Fitzgerald came in to try to sweep it away, but enough spin on that to send it over the goal line, and Mexico cuts a little more into the lead, but this one feels out of reach at this point. 22-13, Canada leads, and no sign of slowing down as Young takes one towards the goal, but Murakami gets the stick across. Now Clark took away what could have been a clean chance for Mexico. They will keep possession as Clark just knocked it out of play. Might need to make a save here as well as Mexico gets right back into the fold. Heavy shot and a save. Clark stepping across to his right. Got the better of that opportunity, and Young now will clear the zone. Shot, another goal. This one from Turpin, his third. Tuck move underneath, driving on Clark. That one's going to count. Now Charney to Lady, back to Charney again. Gets over top, looks over to the far side, down to the corner. Lady, back to Charney, looking top right. That one sails wide. Charney applying a little bit of pressure. Taking away passing lanes here for Mexico on the breakout. And they get over with a second to spare. Sanchez knocks it down. Fitzgerald takes it away. Pass down to the corner. Young. Late change here for Canada. Turpin rolls to the middle, doesn't get the pass. Shot comes instead and blocked by a defender. They'll keep after it. And now penalty coming up against Mexico with under 2 minutes remaining. And Canada will go to work on the power play. Looks like 2 penalties actually to Mexico. Gain skips one of the over to the far side. Young gets the pass near side crease, takes a shot, scores short side. Canada remains on the power play. There's that pressure again as Fisher eating some of that clock. Mexico able to get over the center line though. Serrano gets over and timeout's going to be called by Mexico just as they get over. So they'll have 16 seconds remaining on the shot clock when we return, and we'll be back for the conclusion of the final frame in this game. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to BC Sports TV. Thank you for joining us. The World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Tino Fair, your voice in the final minute and 20 or so of day number 1. Now a penalty coming up to Canada. Mexico scores. And we'll get a quick stoppage for the Canadian player to head over to the penalty area. I believe Alan Gain making his way and sits on the throne of shame. And possession will remain in favor of Mexico after just finding the back of the net a couple of moments ago. Sanchez starts things off, watched on by Turpin. Lucas playing safety in the middle. The two penalized players for Mexico come out. And now they will go to a power play, but give possession back to Canada on the shot sent wide. Fitzgerald switches spots with Fisher. He'll turn back and connect with Fisher now, who sends pass over to the far side. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lucas driving, shooting, and scoring. Another one goes into the top corner for Oscar Lucas. And a shorthanded goal goes for Team Canada. Reverse backhand shot around the world, stopped by Ashton Clark. Now into the final 10 seconds. One hand grab, backhand shot sent wide. And there it is, the final whistle from the opening day of the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Canada takes down Mexico by 10, 25-15. And they will play again tomorrow at 1 p.m. But we're going to step aside now for day number one. Thank you for joining us, and for the entire cast of characters up here in the booth. I've been Tino Farah. We've been BC Sports TV, and we will see you tomorrow.